We are coming up on the 6th generation of Monster Hunter, and there have been many monsters present in the series over this course of time. Today I'm going to be going over my personal 5 worst monsters list. Be sure to let me know down below what your 5 are after watching the video. What's up guys, it's the Hunter Project here. Welcome to my channel where you'll find Monster Hunter news, builds, playthroughs and everything in between. Hope you do enjoy the video, and if you could, smash the like, subscribe buttons, it would be extremely appreciated as we try to reach our 200 subscriber goal by the end of December, which is within 3 days, and it does seem a bit out of reach, but I know if every single person watching this could subscribe, it would be extremely appreciated, and there is still hope for that outcome to take place. Don't forget to join our Discord server, links at the top of the description. We're getting close to 20 members now, which is amazing, considering I think at least like 2 weeks ago we just had our own 4. So we've definitely been growing at a very nice pace, and yeah, without wasting any more time guys, let's get right into the video. So before getting into the list, I just want to mention that this is not an ordered list by any means, and just the 5 monsters that are the worst for me personally. This does not take into account their designs, but rather the encounter itself and the experience I personally had. Starting off with our first monster, we have Koshala Deora. So this is definitely my most hated Elder Dragon in the entire series, when I am not using an overpowered build to discard of this guy quickly. The constant gusts of wind that fill the area up, and it makes the area really annoying to traverse, and can end up with your hunter constantly being stun locked and pushed around by the wind. And this could always be chained into like a super blast from Koshala that just one shots you if you're at like mid game, like through the story. Of course, end game now in world, I can easily tank a full on hit from its charged up wind attack, but if it's tempered for example, that's me done. And it's just really annoying the fact that the entire reason I get to that point is due to being stun locked and pushed around by the stupid wind that ends up being everywhere on the map when I'm fighting it. Everything about this monster is literally fine. The design, the attacks, everything's okay except for the constant wind attacks that lurk in the arena, blocking off movement options, leading to a very unfair and annoying encounter. However, this can of course be like reduced to an extent if you have like a really heavy DPS build and focus on the head to avoid Koshala getting the chance to even use any of its attacks, as luckily Deora and many of the other Elder Dragons, especially in World I've noticed, are very prone to being stunned and knocked out. But regardless, it's definitely one of my most hated monsters in the series. Next up we have Silverraflos. So Silverraflos is an interesting one. They just take the regular Raflos, buff it up, add a few more attacks, and most importantly, I feel like this is the main key aspect that they thought of when bringing in Silverraflos, is the bloody airtime they give it. They increase it so much. This guy is the monster personification of the Floor is Lava game. Clutch Claw does make this encounter a tiny bit better for world, but if you're not using an insect glaive or a bow gun, you get a major slice in your DPS. Flash bombs wear it down a bit, but after a few uses, they're pretty much useless, so it's a temporary counter to this annoying mechanic of the monster. I'd put Gold Radiant on the list as well, as she can be annoying with her tail spam poison infliction, but from personal experience, Silverraflos has been more annoying to me. However, it is probably the least annoying encounter on this list, or at least, I'd say second least annoying. But regardless, it's definitely in the top 5. Following on from Silverraflos, we have Plesioth. So I'm not going to go into this, as many of you guys probably agree with this monster being on the list. So I have many fond memories of this guy, especially fighting it in Freedom Unite. And to sum up this monster in 2 words, hip check. Zora Magdaros is next on the list, and there is one massive and glaring flaw to this encounter, and that is how boring all the encounters are for this monster. For the first encounter, I remember destroying all the cores and having to wait like 48 hours for the cutscene to trigger, and then we move on to the second encounter later at the end of low rank, and the same issue occurred while I watched it make its slow and steady way to the gate where you begin to use cannons and Dragonator. And it's just like, why do we have to wait so long for a game mechanic to trigger for us to progress, when it should be an engaging battle, especially considering it was the boss of low rank? The section where you begin to use the Dragonator and the cannons was okay, at least in the second encounter, as if you use the cannons and Dragonator effectively, with how the NPCs load the siege weapons, it can go by at a decent pace, and is a tiny bit more engaging than the rest of everything else in the encounter, especially the build up when you're riding Zorah Magdaros up to the gate. But everything before is just so slow and unengaging that it just makes the end part of it just not feel fun at all, and you're just like, when is this gonna end? When is this gonna end? And just because of all that, this monster makes the list. And of course you may be thinking, why is Lao Shan or Shen Goren not in this list? And that is because at least you can actually attack them while they are making their way to the gate, whereas this monster, you do all the tasks, you're not necessarily damaging it, you're just destroying objective points. And this fight, especially the build up to the gate, just feels a lot like a checklist where you're just ticking off, okay, I've destroyed all the cores, okay, I repelled Nergigante, and that just does not feel fun to me, and that is why this monster is on the list. Finally, we have our final monster on the list, and this is Regen, more specifically Furious Regen. So this monster is fantastic in terms of design and intention, as with most of the other monsters on this list, but, and that is a massive but, it can be so damn annoying with how much this monster jumps around, the amount of spammy moves this guy has. I streamed the quest of fighting 2 of these Furious Regens, and I'm sure everyone on stream can recall how fun this was. And yeah, of course you can just whip out the bowgun and put this monkey down, but that is a bit annoying to swap to another type of weapon, especially when bowguns are not your main. And it definitely is recommended though to avoid the irritation of this encounter. So if you are having trouble with the 2 Furious Regens, there are many guides online on various bowgun builds you can use to make the fight extremely easy, not to mention that the only way you can knock it out of its rage mode is to attack its face, unlike regular Regen, where you can aim for the less dangerous tail area to knock him out of it. But regardless, this monster definitely makes the list for how irritating it can be. This does bring us to the end of the list, guys. Remember, this list is not an ordered top 5 list or anything like that, and it's just the 5 monsters that I find are the worst in Monster Hunter, and it was just a little fun video that I wanted to make. All the monsters on the list have great designs and definitely are great for what they are intended to be, but just some of the monsters, like their mechanics, can lead to the gameplay being less fun. But regardless, I do love that they're in the series, and as long as there is at least one person who likes any of these monsters on the list, they have a place in the Monster Hunter franchise. Of course, if no one liked the monster, then okay, that would be a bit of concern, but I'm sure there's going to be a monster on this list where someone else thinks of it as their favourite monster, and that's absolutely fine. I respect everyone's opinion, and I love to see the diversity in opinions for different Monster Hunter players. And yeah guys, if you did enjoy, be sure to smash the like and subscribe buttons if you haven't already. It is extremely appreciated as we make our way to 200 subscribers, hopefully by the end of December, which is just 3 days away. Be sure to comment down below with your own worst monsters list, and don't forget to join our Discord server, link is at the top of the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.